Hello, everybody. This is Miriam. This is an animal wisdom story message, not live video, but video. We were hoping to do this little chat, this little internet video live, but we couldn't. We were having some technology challenges, and I would like you to, but it doesn't matter. We're recording it now, and then I put it up, and then it's nearly the same as live. So it will come up a little bit later. But anyway, so I have the lovely Faye Rogers here with me, and now I can see you, which I couldn't do on Facebook. Hello, Faye, all the way from New Zealand.
Hello, Miriam. Hello to everyone here.
And Faye Rogers is a well-known animal communicator in New Zealand. And we were doing a little interview, and we pre-recorded it because of the massive time change. In New Zealand, it's 8:30 in the morning, and in Berlin, it's 8:30 at night. So we pre-recorded it, and it turned out to be very interesting, and it went very broad, very general. It was, we talked about everything a little bit, I think. And so it's coming up on Wednesday at 6 o'clock in the evening, Central European time, which will be 6 o'clock in the morning on Thursday, I believe, in New Zealand. So do listen in. It's a wonderful episode. And because we didn't have enough time, because we were chatting so much, we decided to do an extra little video with some messages, because Faye, you prepared some animal wisdom messages, or just some messages for us, and you channeled them. So
yes.
Over to you.
Okay. Well, thank you, Miriam. Messages, I've taken a few messages out of we talked about on the interview on the radio about my dogs sharing with me different messages from the different species. So I thought, well, this is the place to start. And so I hunted out some of his messages today, and turtles. So anyway, I will get up the notes and start reading from them. Okay, turtles. So my dog's name is Torino Wolfhound. He's in spirit now. And this is only a little bit from turtles, because it's quite an extensive chapter. Turtles, amazing land sea animals, not quite of this world. They are so unique in how they are. To be able to carry your house on your back, doesn't this make complete sense? To be able to stand up and uproot yourself whenever you wish, and that all your possessions are contained on oneself. This is the message turtles wish to spread to humans. The turtles' message is about self-containment. Now, isn't that a strange thing to suggest, as we always wish for more, even myself? That self-containment isn't necessarily about possessions and wealth. Self-containment is captured in the turtles to remind us to be true to ourselves, to contain our envy, to remember to be free enough that we can move ourselves if we wish to. It is about discovering who you really are, the feelings trapped so deep down inside you. These feelings we suppress. These feelings we don't acknowledge at all, but they're hidden deep down in the murky depths of our soul. Our soul that we believe in, but we try to padlock down to stop our essence leaking out. Our soul that we acknowledge, but we try not to respond to. Our soul that if we grabbed hold of and emptied out would be full of so much wealth, so much creativity, and so much love, and of course hope. Hope is eternal. Hope doesn't die, and this is trapped in our soul. See how unique the turtles are. They carry their souls on their backs for all to see. It isn't their house they carry on their backs, but their soul, to remind us to look deep down within ourselves, and to remind us of our soul, of our being, of our true self. From little river turtles to large giant turtles that swim in the mighty seas, when a turtle ends upside down again, that is a message to people. The message is of being trapped, as that is how most people live their life. People are trapped by a lot. They're trapped by their own insecurities, by their own distrust of life, by their own lack of awareness, and by their own lack of self-belief in the Almighty. And we're not talking about God, but about themselves, of knowing that they are their own universe, that the universe resides in themselves. If one trusted themselves totally and learnt to live in some form of harmony within themselves, they would be like would do like Gandhi did. Many since Gandhi have tried to find themselves, but nobody has been that successful since. Many humans have tried and then they've become disheartened to have thrown it away. Gandhi was an icon. He wasn't quite off this world. His message was for the universe, and the universe isn't so much the starry planets of the distance, but the universe and what we all hold inside ourselves. Gandhi's feet were stuck here on the earthly soil, but his soul was a universal soul that spread everywhere. And Gandhi was like the turtles that we enjoy watching as Gandhi's soul was carried around his body for all to see. Next time you sight a turtle, watch how their little flipper feet move. Watch how they swim. It's all forward movement, isn't it? Turtles are so much fun to watch, and this is their message to all that one must move forward. I'm not talking about grabbing and taking it all, but moving forward in oneself so that our souls become our being and that we don't harbour great weights on our back or carry our burdens with us. People sight the turtle shell on their backs and wonder about the burden the turtles must live with every day carrying this great weight on their back, but the turtle's heart is free of burdens and their shell is weightless to their little body that lives inside their soul. This is a special message of the turtles. It isn't so much about themselves being a unique animal, but what they foster, and is so evident if one looked. If we all tried to be like the turtles, wouldn't life be better? Wouldn't the universe surface for all of us? Wouldn't our soul capture us rather than being contained within us? So that's just a small excerpt from the message. It's quite long and extensive.
Thank you very much. That was lovely. And thank you to Reno, your wolfhound, your dog, big Irish, big, huge dog, for channeling, or you channeling these messages through him, from him, or I don't know how to describe this, but he started sort of nudging you with these messages, right?
Yes, and that was one of the earlier messages. And so the messages, sometimes he shared about the polarities, about the planet, what it's going through, the destruction that us humans are applying to the planet, but also about the awakening of the planet and then into the greater universe. Also about the species' reasons for being, about the energy that they're holding, and how they're supporting us in our growth, but supporting the planet and growth and things like that. Mother Earth, of course, is included, and because she is her own entity, her own individual. I've lost the words there, but she is her own energy presence, and how she's supporting us in our growth forward and things like that, but also how she's feeling under all the weights that we're creating.
I really love this message. I mean, for two reasons. I mean, what really struck a chord with me was the little containment, carrying your house, carrying kind of, your little universe on your back, and being in there. It's sort of, I don't know, I can't even put it into words yet, but I'm planning to go on a trip with the dog. So we're going to go away for a few weeks. And
fantastic.
So, but this is like this, for some reason, it reminded me of that, having, not material possessions, but having that little, house on your back and moving forward. And the interesting thing is that I did an interview with another animal communicator from America, from Texas, Sarah Willison, and she did some animal messages. And what came out was movement. She channeled with her herd of horses. And they were saying to her, you need to go, move forward. And I feel like 2019 is so filled with moving forward. I mean, you told me just before we started recording that you're going to move. There's going to be movement in, even house moving.
It's a bit scary, but and I just okay. And I just thought, well, this message I recorded back in 2006. And it was just really funny because when I went through the manuscript this morning, and it's 180,000 plus words, just short of 185,000 words. And I thought, oh, I better. I hunted out 3 animals' messages. One was dove, one was panda, the giant pandas, and then I got pushed to go and look at turtle, and I thought, oh, okay, there's a little bit here. So,
But it's interesting how it somehow fits today, even though
yes.
that you channeled it, before. And so it kind of goes with this, it doesn't matter when it was created, but you see it or you hear it when you're supposed to. It comes to you.
Yeah, of course, because I thought, I read it. I thought, gee, that is, it has a lot of bearing with how, with things that I'm going through, and it's giving me that courage and that support that I need to hear, but also, it's the message on turtles. It gets deeper and deeper and more beautiful. And what I'll do, I'll put up on my blog post, I'll create the whole message into a blog so that people, if they wish to, can read it. Yeah.
That's beautiful. So, because there was, I felt like there was so much in this message, and there's so many layers, and sort of pictures, and I was sort of drifting off with the turtles a little bit, like dreaming into that message. So that would be really nice. So why don't you, once you've done it, send me the link to your blog post, that blog post, and then I will add it to this video. So when people watch it, they can also go to your blog
and
post and read it.
That'd be wonderful. Yeah, I'll certainly do that.
So, you know what? There's not so much I want to add, or I can add to this. It's sort of, it's really nice. It's just, every time I hear, or, I channeled an animal wisdom message, I'm so surprised, and yet I'm not surprised, by the wisdom and by the beauty of those words, and it's, for some reason, they feel really soothing to me. I feel,
it's just so wonderful to hear. And I think the thing with the animal kingdom is their generosity too. They just share so greatly, and it is just, it's such a generous energy to be in, and I haven't got quite words to express that. But us humans, we're always thinking about, oh, do I share this? Do I share that? I'll hold something back. Do I teach them this? No, I'll hold something back. But animals, it's just like total big full force generosity. And encouragement. Yeah, there's no holding back.
No, it's true, and they don't think about it.
No,
it's just, it's like this energy flow, and I feel that when you get into these animal messages, that you can feel that flow of love, that flow of energy, and it's sort of, it transports through the words. And it
does.
This is why I feel like this comfort,
Yeah, because it's not just words that they share; it's energy, and it's just really, really interesting. Because if I know this is a little bit off topic, but if I do someone that's lost their pet, and we either do in person or phone or Skype session. But if I do a written transcript, it's not just words that are captured, and they take a long time to bring in those messages because they've placed so much healing energy into their messages. And sometimes people will just read 3 words of it and they've had a complete healing. I've had people that, haven't managed to get out of bed because of their grief for weeks and weeks of losing their pet. And we've done a session, and all of a sudden they can get on with their life again. Because it's the energy.
It's really interesting what you say. And it's kind of funny again, because today I wrote a blog post about my cat, who I lost. I found my cat, my soul cat, and then you know, he was with me for 7 years, and then he was run over by a motorcycle. And when I was writing this, you know, it's funny how these subjects, you know, how that comes up, you know, that I was writing it, and now you're talking about it. And you know, writing it, I could feel his energy again.
Yeah.
And it's still there. It doesn't go away.
It's so special. And I did a session last year with someone that had been going to counselling for, I can't remember, close to 3 years after she lost her dog. And she said, well, she, you know, had lost other people in her life, but the way that she impact from her dog. And we did one session, and she said finally she can actually start doing things. She was just going through the motion of living without living, if that makes sense. And it's just like, I can actually start doing this. I can go to the beach and actually enjoy being at the beach rather than getting haunted with all the memories, and the grief was so deep. And so when we experience grief that deep, it's unconditional love, because, you know, that's what animals are. And it's like we've lost part of ourself, and the deeper the connection you have to the animal, which can be through this lifetime but many other lifetimes, and it's, it can be, you know, I do understand, you know, where people are coming from, but it's just the energy. They can transform things so fast.
When you do this session, you were just saying about the grief. Is it a communication? Do you get a question from your client then, or do you get in contact with the soul of the animal and then just share what they want to share, or how do you work?
Quite a few years ago, I used to try to cover everyone's questions, and it would be things like, "Did you enjoy the food?" Those things aren't really relevant. So I've said to people, let's keep to it. You know, because people would ask questions that are not really relevant, and because they just don't know where to start. So normally it's just going in and addressing, like, you know, the messages that the person has to hear, the energy that the person has to hear. And there's always something that's relevant that comes up, that if the person hasn't worked with me before, the animal will normally share some sort of validation that it's from them. And it could be something to do with some memory that they've shared together, or some pet name that they've called, you know, or something that's happening. So there's always some recognition in the messages that this is from my animal. Probably that would happen 99% of the time. There's always 1% of the time that it won't happen, of course. But people just know that it's their animal, and so they'll share what the person has to hear. So that comes down to their wisdom, and of course I try to put in the person's questions, because that's important. Or if it's a communication where I've got the person sitting with me, or phone or Skype session, then they're involved in questions. But when it's a written transcript, it's whatever the animal shares, and they'll take you in a totally different direction than what the person was expecting, because it's what needed to come through.
Yeah,
absolutely beautiful.
It's funny that you know, I started off with these questions as well, and you know, I got these questions like, what kind of treats does my dog like? What kind of what does my horse like? And I think sometimes it's because people are a little bit insecure. You know, they go to an animal communicator, they want to communicate with their animal, but they're kind of a little bit shy as well. Maybe, you know, like this.
Yes.
It's sort of something new, and they made that big step. You know, it's a huge step to say, I believe that this works. You know, this is why I'm going to an animal communicator. And then all of a sudden they're faced with you or me and somebody. What would you like to know? And they go like, oh my God.
And you know, and they will share what's really, really relevant. Even sometimes, like when I've been talking to an animal that's present, or even it could be an animal that's in spirit, and they'll start sharing things that, in the kindest most generous, I've used that word again, generous way that's imaginable, and they'll tell the person what they've got to address in their life, or if they've got a health concern. So, like, you need this, this and this to help you through what you're going through. And then the person will say to me, well, yes, actually, I've actually got this medical condition. I needed to hear that because I've actually got off doing what I'm supposed to be doing.
Right.
And of course, I've got no idea. So they're very practical in that respect, practical in a way that we don't understand.
Yeah, about things that you should be doing, or that you should be adding to, or just, yes, in my experience, it's a lot of times that they come up with very practical sort of solutions to situations and problems. So unexpected sometimes.
Unexpected, very, very special. But with every communication, it's always different, and depending on, sometimes that messages are very deep, sometimes they're not, because it's how it's meant to be.
Again,
I know, and it's the animal's wisdom choosing what needs to be shared. They only need to hear this. Cats are great. They'll take their person on a journey, and it's like we start there and we finish there. And I can never get over how they play with words.
What I find interesting is that every animal has their own way to communicate, their own kind of speech in a way. I can sometimes, I try to find the right words for the what the energy that I'm picking up, and sometimes it's very sort of like a professor, and then sometimes it's the way they talk is more like this little girl, or
some are really bossy. And some are very insecure, which is part of their energy too. So sometimes those communications can take a long time when the animal's very anxious. You're not making them more anxious, but it's part of their personality.
So it's kind of what is coming through for me now, in 2019, what we covered, like in 2 animal wisdom sort of messages, channeling, is the movement forward. And also what I'm finding is the connection. We are connecting, you connected to the turtles through to Reno, your dog. And it's like, I think it's beautiful. We're moving forward, we're going forward. We're going into it's not unknown, but into, a situation, or, a universe that is kind of new. It is a little bit new. So, and I feel this is really exciting.
It is. It's been such an exciting phase for this planet and for people on it. We don't always, of course, when we're going through things, we don't always see that.
But I think that energy-wise, there's some changes, There's a lot of people that are sort of starting to work with energy, getting more interested in energy work. And I think, this has an effect on the whole planet. I mean,
it certainly does.
If it's going to change the whole planet, I don't know, but it's going to change some of the energy.
That is so true. We're just on this great wave of changes. I mean, it's and just more and more people coming together, which is creating more and more changes, and more and more people are defining exactly who they are. It was like, maybe people were looking for themselves, and now they're defining more and more and more what actually fits them.
And if we can inspire more and more people to get more and more interested in in animals and what they would like to share and what they have to say. I think our living together on this planet will change a little bit as well, because every person that starts connecting, either with nature or with animals, will change something in their own perception and maybe in somebody else's perception as well. So I feel like it's a bit like a domino thing.
It's got that roll-on effect. And it is amazing. I mean, yes, it reminds me of a horse that I talked to yesterday, and he talked about that, about how his energy alters something in a positive way, and then that alters for that on, it has that big roll-on effect. Continuous pattern of positivity, of beauty and everything like that. I mean, it is very, very exciting that if we can get back to our, I'm going to call it zero, which is not camouflaged with all the conditioned thinking, and we just step into our own power and our own light. It's just really, really amazing. Be like the turtles.
You know what? I'm going to have to think about this a little bit more. But just be like the turtle. Be like a turtle. Have the house on your back and just go swim in the ocean. Yeah, I like that.
Be like the turtles. So,
this is nice. You know what? This was really lovely. I really enjoyed myself, and I loved the message, or the messages, from the turtles, what they wanted to share. Very inspiring. I'm taking this with me into 2019, into the beginning of 2019, and it made me sort of a little bit chuckle. It's nice, and it's nice to think about, what can I take from this, what's in there for me, what.
No, it's so true. And have a wonderful trip away. So you just hop in your car and have you got it planned, or is it just?
Well, we're not going until a little bit later. We're going to go in the springtime, and we're going to go to France. And so, yes, we're going to jump in the car, and we know where we're going. We're going to go to Brittany, and but the rest is not really. It's not. It's not sad yet. We've watched a lot of documentaries, and we're just starting. I mean, I'm going to be staying there longer. My husband is coming back, and I'm staying there with the dog. So that will be the dog and me.
Oh, how exciting. It's one big adventure. I know, this is wonderful. Wonderful.
So maybe I will be meeting some turtles. I will let you know.
You will now. You've put it out. Yeah, you'll be seeing turtles everywhere.
That'd be nice. So, but I'm still here, and we'll still be connected via the internet. And yes, thank you so much for this add-on video. I will be upload this, and I will be posting it on Facebook and sending you the links and everything, and so people can enjoy these messages and have a little bit more, because we filled this hour of interview so quickly.
Yes, I think it went so fast I couldn't get over that. It was just, surely we've only been talking 10 minutes.
So I guess we have to do like a series of this.
That'll be wonderful.
Keep on doing these. So Faye, thank you so much.
Well, thank you.
Message, and we'll see. Maybe we'll do some more messages in the future. So see what comes up.
Well, thank you so much, and bright blessings to everyone that watches and listens to. Well, bright blessings to everyone, not just to the people that are listening and watching.
Thank you so much. So have
Okay,
a wonderful day, and
I will do. Well, thank you, and we'll talk later. Okay, bye.
bye.